All right, finally, we are live. Ladies, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we are live, y'all. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We are live. Welcome to another episode of the God's God podcast. You guys already know my name is Will. I'm the host of this show, number one Polynesian podcast in the world. Oh wow, let's get it, y'all. What's up, everybody? Sorry for being a little bit late. We just had some technical difficulties, but thank you for tuning in already. You can see some of you guys tuning in already on the live show. Thank you so much. As you guys can see, we have some beautiful ladies joining us tonight. We have a great podcast and some great discussions for you guys tonight. If you're tuning in for the very first time, thank you so much for tuning in. And of course, to all my subscribers out there, people support my channel, thank you so much for all the love and support. If you love the content, you guys already know what to do. Smash and press that like, subscribe button real quick. All right. Don't forget, this is a public show. Always appreciate your feedback on the live comments. So let's definitely get that live. Let's definitely get that the public chat on the live comments going. I see Fatty on the live chat already. He already donated $5 a super chat donation. Shout out to you, Fatty. Hey, thank you for the financial donation. Always supporting my channel. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But everybody out there that's watching this right now, thank you so much for love and support. Let me know what you guys think. We're gonna have a topic. We're gonna have different topics to discuss tonight. Always appreciate what you guys say. Whether you agree or disagree, let me know what you guys think. And of course, don't forget, show some love on the live chat to the beautiful ladies, and show some love to the channel on the live chat. All right. Don't forget, this is a public show. I know a lot of you guys do reach out and want to be part of the podcast. I will post a public link on the live chat on YouTube. So if you're watching this from Twitch, if you're watching this from Facebook, you have to come to YouTube. It'll be pinned to the top of the screen. Click on that link, and you can join us and be part of the open conversation. So I'm always a big advocate for open discussions. I always like to hear from all perspectives, from the men and the women. So if you're watching this, I know I have a lot of people do agree and support my channel, but I do know there's a lot of haters out there.
How dare you?
All right, to all my haters out there, I know you may disagree. I know sometimes you get triggered by my content, my views, and the things I post. If you disagree, I challenge you. I disagree, I challenge you, invite you to come on and let's have an open discussion on why you disagree. I'm open to it, and I'm sure the ladies, especially Nadia, she's ready for you guys. She's ready for you guys. Come on down, and let's
Then
have
be
an open discussion. But no worries. Appreciate all you guys. Don't forget the super chat donations. Always appreciate you guys with the financial donations, especially for Fatty already donating to my channel. So if you have a specific question or topic that you guys want us to talk about, and you want to support my channel, ask it through a super chat donation. I'll make it a priority, and of course, we get the live response from the viewers, and we can talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. If you drop a super chat donation to financially support my channel, so thank you so much for all you guys out there. I'm definitely gonna open my live podcast studio at the end of this year, going to 2023. So always appreciate donations. Everything I do is going to be reinvested back to my content to give you guys a better quality content. All right. Shout out to everybody out there for all the love and support. And pretty much that's all my YouTube stuff. Thank you so much. As you guys can see, we got a full panel tonight. I'm going to be adding some more ladies that's going to be joining us tonight. I do have one lady joining on already. Hey, what's up, Jade?
Hi.
All right. What's up? Thank you so much for joining in, Jade. We're just starting the YouTube intros right now. So first and foremost, I'll give a shout out to all the ladies real quick. Thank you for taking the time to be part of the podcast tonight. Excited to have you on. Shout out to the ladies.
Thank you.
All right. And I have to say, we got some beautiful ladies on here. So all the guys out there, I know you guys will be excited to be on this podcast tonight. So definitely show some love in the live chat. But ladies, I know a lot of people watching this right now, they may not know who you are. So if you don't mind, give yourself a quick intro. Your name, your age, what do you do, and what is your relationship status? I'll start with you, Lorna. Lorna, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Lorna Hilala Tufuli. I am 27 years old. I am a substitute teacher, photographer, and dancer, and I am single. Yeah.
All right, no worries. All right, thank you so much, Lorna. Thank you so much for being on tonight. Excited to have you on. Let me pass it to you, Joe. Joe, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi guys. I'm new to this, but I'm so excited. This is my first time. But yeah, you can call me Joe. I'm Asian. I do social media. I'm a social media growth strategist. I help financial businesses to grow their social media accounts. Not single. I have 3 kids. I'm 27.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much. All right, shout out to you, Joe, all the way from the Philippines. Thank you so much, Joe. Excited to have you on tonight's podcast. Let me pass it on to one of our newest guests here for the first time, Jade. Jade, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Yeah, hi. My name is Jade. I'm 24. I am single. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I do have one kid. I don't know if that matters, but still single though. And what else am I missing?
I think that's it. You covered all the bases.
Okay.
What she does, like what you do. Did you say?
Oh, what do you do? Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was that? I missed it. Sorry.
Oh, what do you do?
Oh, I'm an HR assistant by day. Otherwise, I model on the side.
All right, great. All right, Jade, thank you so much for taking the time, and yeah, excited to have you on. I see Too Wonderful already in the live chat. He said, "Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well." Yeah, good evening to you, Too Wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in for tonight's show. Excited to have you on. You guys already know we got a full panel for tonight. We're definitely having a great discussion. And last but not least, pass it to Lay. Go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm Lay, and I don't know too many of the questions, but I'm single. What do I do? By day, I change oil, and then, I model and all that good stuff as well. I have one kid as well. And then, yeah.
All right, no worries. Your age, how old are you, Lay?
Oh, 21.
All right, 21.
Super
All right.
young.
I didn't say I'm 24, but that's okay.
No worries. Lay, always a welcome. Always a pleasure to have you on. Let me pass it to you. Nadia. Nadia, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nadia. I'm 28 years old. Am I the oldest here?
How old are you?
28. I'm 28.
Oh, okay. 23.
Yes, I win. I'm a teacher, and I am married with a daughter.
All right. No worries. Thank you so much, Nadia. Always appreciate you being on tonight. And I know some of you guys probably recognize her from our previous podcast. Thank you. Welcome back. All right. No worries, buddy. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate all the great introductions. Shout out to the ladies one more time. And yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna go right into it. And ladies, I hope you guys are ready. I do have a topic to start off the podcast. I always like to start off the podcast with a hot topic, hot controversial topic. So be prepared. So I do have a video I'm gonna play. It's a TikTok video I saw that was going viral on TikTok based on relationships. A lot of people had a lot to say on the comments. So I'm gonna start off with the podcast tonight. I know this is a big topic that everybody always talks about. So let me play the video real quick, and then we're gonna react to it. Of course, everybody that's watching this right now, definitely let me know what you guys think as you're watching the video, as you guys are reacting to it. It's a 30-second clip, and let me play the video right now, and I'll definitely get back to you, ladies, and you guys can share to me what you guys think about for tonight's topic. All right, so let me play the video.
No, it's not insecure. It's extremely intelligent. Just like you are very invested in your man's future, men are very invested in their woman's past. I don't know why you can't grasp that, without insulting it to some degree.
Because her man.
You don't have to like reality, but that is the reality. Women want a man with a future. Men want a woman that doesn't have a past.
I don't know. I feel like if you're an adult, then you have some sort of past. If you think you're gonna get a virgin who's hot, 21, then you're delusional.
All right, ladies. So so that was a clip. That was a clip I saw going viral on TikTok. A lot of people in the comments. So my discussion for tonight, I want to ask you guys, because this is something I always talk about on other podcasts, and I do see a lot of people always talking about it. Is that, at the end of the day, both men and women, we all have our preferences of what we find attractive to each other. So women have their preferences of what type of man that they want to date and marry long term. And obviously for men, they have certain preferences that they want to, certain type of women they want to date long term. So, from my conversations from a lot of men and women, obviously, there is a big difference. There's a biological difference of what men like and what they prefer as far as their preferences and their standards. And then there's a biological difference between what women like and their preferences. So if you ask most women, a lot of women say, what type of man do you like? Most women would say, you know what? I want a man that's 6 foot. I want a man that's 6-figure income, 6 inches, ambitious, courageous, provider, protector, leadership skills. I want a man that's, has a physical, has some abs, has strong shoulders, has a good broad chest. So, at the end of the day, when I talk to women on this podcast and what I hear from women, that's usually like the majority of what most women are looking for. But then when I ask the fellas, hey, to the men, I ask the men, hey, man, what do you find attractive in a woman, the type of woman that you would like and prefer in a woman? And a lot of times, a lot of men will say, I want a woman that's feminine. I want a woman that's beautiful. I want a woman that's young. I want a woman that has children. I want a woman that doesn't have a high body count, that doesn't have a sexual past history. But oftentimes what I do notice sometimes that when men talk about their preferences, a lot of women get upset and they get mad and they call that man, that guy, he's insecure. He can't handle a strong woman. But in my observation, when women talk about, I want a man that's 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches, tall, handsome, for a lot of times the men accept it. We understand that's what women want. And so for a lot of times, I don't really hear a lot of men complaining about what women want, but I do see that sometimes when men talk about what they want in a woman, even though women have to have certain preferences of what they prefer, a lot of times a lot of men get backlash, or they get labeled, or they get called insecure, or they get negative feedback. So I just want to bring up the conversation for you ladies. What do you think? Why do you think a lot of women today have a problem with men's preferences and standards, even though women, you guys have your own preferences and standards of what you want out of a man? So I just want to, that's what the clip went viral for, and a lot of people had that comment section. But I want to ask you guys, so I just gave you guys both sides from the men and the women, but this is something that I do see, and I want to open up the podcast for tonight. What do you guys think about that? All right, so let me start with the newest guest on the podcast for the first time. I'm gonna start. Let me start with Jade. Jade, I'm gonna start with you. So let me pass it on. Let me pass it on to you, Jade. Jade, why do you think a lot of women today have a problem with what men want, their standards and their preferences in women?
That's a good question. I really can't answer that. I don't know why they have a problem, or why we have a problem. Men are just really picky, and they also don't stand by what they say. They're not honest, or what's the word? Loyal to what they say. They say they want one thing, and then they want the complete opposite. So at that point, it's what's the point for women to even be involved?
Okay. All right, no worries. I'll definitely come back to you. I got you, Jade. All right, no worries. Thank you so much, Jade. Let me pass it to you, Lorna. Lorna, what do you think? Why do you think a lot of women have a problem with what men want, their preferences in women?
Well, kind of going off of what Jade said, that they're not honest in a way, their actions don't show it. Most of the men that I've talked to are very sexual at first, and so it makes women think okay, well, I'm sexy. Obviously, women are sex symbols, and so we come off as these things to them, but men don't show that. They don't show that in their actions, to show that they want a woman that doesn't talk to a lot of men or hasn't had sex with a lot of men. And so we're confused. That makes me mad seeing that video, because what, do you want a virgin? Do you want someone to not, yeah.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lorna. Lorna, thank you for sharing that. Let me pass it to you, Joe. Joe, what do you think about the topic?
Yeah, I think that men never change for what they like. It's still the same. I think women change a lot from way, way back. So I think that's the problem there. So men are so sure for what they really want, But the thing is, it's hard for them to choose now because women change in terms of everything. What they want, what they like, what they want to do. They're free now to decide on what they want to do. So it's harder for men to really choose. You know what I'm saying? So men really they never change. They don't. But women do. Yeah, we
Okay.
did.
All right.
That's a good point.
No worries. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Joe. I definitely come back to elaborate more on the changes. All right. Let me pass it to Lay. Lay, what do you think, Lay? Why do you think a lot of women have a problem with what men want or their preferences in what?
Because like what Joe is saying, like women we move forward, like we can move past it, but like men, they're so stuck in the past to where it really bothers them, to where like they're self-sabotaging themselves, because just like, why are you so worried about what I was doing before you if you don't want me to worry about what you were doing before me? Like, you know, so it's just like you're kind of contradicting themselves with setting those such high standards, because even when men get the exact picture perfect what they want, they cheat on them. They end up doing them dirty or doing like, so it really doesn't ever make sense. So it's just like when women set the standards, like they're setting their standards for like their future, for like what she knows that man can be later on, like, you know. So I feel like it's different how like men choose to put their standards towards women and the way women do for men. Like,
Okay.
it's all different mindset.
All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Lay. And let me pass it to Nadia. Nadia, what do you think, Nadia?
Um, I just jot down some points that I wanted to say. So I'm just gonna start off. I think I have when I joined your podcast, the first time we actually talked about why men like younger women, right?
Yeah.
But we can also view it as why women like older men.
Yeah.
So it could actually goes both ways, and I think that it's because men just prefers to deal with less dramas and less women with a lot of history behind it. And from my own experience, I think women are more emotionally attached to certain things, to a lot of things, to be honest. So I think eventually a lot of body counts will affect her in a lot of ways, you know. And with, I don't know, this is how I think and it is how I feel. And I also look at people around me and friends who has a lot of body counts that also have like affect them in a certain ways, you know. And I also see that with a lot of body counts, they also have this certain mindset that men are this and men are that. So for me, it's like, okay, maybe then you should find someone that is nice to be with. I mean, to have like sex with. You know what I mean? I don't know if I can say that in this in the YouTube.
You're good. You're good.
You're good. Okay, because I know there's certain words that I can't say. So I need to make sure. And I think also women are the ones control the availability for sex. So I think women should be able to choose who she have sex with. So it means that if you want to have sex with a person, make sure it's worth having sex with. And I don't know if it's worth having a higher body count. And I don't think that's also something that we should focus on. Like, okay, if men can do it, why women can't do it? It's just something that it's not a good culture for us to pick up on. I genuinely feel it's not a good culture for women to pick up on. I think there's something that, you know, the values in men that we can take, but not the values of a body count. So in my point of view, the reason why men does not want women with a higher body count is because women with higher body counts tends to have like a little trauma behind it, bad experience, and they bring a lot of baggage with them that they probably didn't want to deal with first, and then they expect men to just help her, you know, through it when she herself didn't want to do anything to fix her trauma or her I know problems, you know.
Okay.
So that's on my side.
All right. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that, Nadia. Let me read some comments real quick. And shout out to everybody in the live chat. I think BL17 said, hello, ladies, and well, thank you so much. Hey, what's up, BL17? I always appreciate you being on the live podcast. I see Alicia Mana here for the first time. Hey, shout out to you, Alicia. Thank you for being on the live chat. Alicia said, let me read it. I think men have this preference because they feel like they deserve a sense of ownership over the woman they have a relationship with, whether they know it or not. Hey, Thank you for sharing what you think. Appreciate what you have to say on that, Alicia Mana. And I see Iaga the gem. First time on the live chat. Shout out to Iaga. Thank you for being on the live chat. She said some females can be insecure and their egos can get hurt. From what I've seen in men, have a tendency to get a wee bit disrespectful when stating their preferences. All right. Shout out to Iaga the gem. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I appreciate you guys sharing the live chat. Don't forget, I just posted the public link on the live chat on YouTube. So whether you agree, disagree, you want to jump onto a nice podcast, definitely click on that link and you can be part of the conversation. All right. Ladies, before we open up for open discussion real quick, I know all of you guys did share. I want to ask you guys a question. Is there a specific preference that men have that you personally have a problem with? I just want to ask that question. Let's be honest, ladies. Let's be honest. don't hold back now. But yeah, is there preference? Is there a certain preference that men have in women that you've seen or heard or experienced that you personally have a problem with? And then I want to know that. Anybody want to go? Okay, go Nadia. Go ahead. Okay, yeah.
For me, I personally don't have any preference. I mean, any problems with men with preference, because as a woman myself, I also have preference in the men that I'm with. So I guess it goes both ways. For me, it doesn't matter. And if I don't, for example, if I don't like a certain thing that men want, then either I will work for it. If I really want the man, then I will work my way to that. If that man is really good, otherwise I'm like, okay, bye, boo, I gotta go. I guess for me, it's just simple as that.
Okay, all right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Nadia. So no problems from Nadia. No complaints there. Okay, but ladies, ladies, anything comes to mind you want to just share right now? I know it's there. I can see your faces. I know you're thinking about it. Just say it. Ladies. Let's be honest, ladies.
Honestly, I do not like that guys will not be open to like date like all ethnicities. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just like a race preference. That bothers me because it's like, you know, who knows? Maybe I want some chocolate. Maybe I want some vanilla. Maybe I want some tres leche. Why do you gotta be like, you know? I want to get to know you too, you know? Yeah. So it's like that bothers me because I really am open to anything. So I want you to be that open-minded too, you know? That bothers me. That's the only thing.
Okay. No worries. Just a quick response to lady. Do you think that's a man thing, or do you think that's just both men and women? Because I think that's normal for people to date something that's familiar. So that's why most people date within their race, because it's familiar. You're familiar, you're comfortable. That's why you were raised in. That's why you've seen. That's why you experienced. So it's not only normal to just to date within your race. If you date outside, that's fine. But I think it's normal behavior. People want to date within their own race.
Yeah, it is. But it's like it's 2022.
I agree.
There is all this, like, there are so many other things. Like, how could you just be that? So, like, at that point, you're just being small-minded. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, yeah, it's like, you know, maybe you do want to date in your culture. Like, that's just who you are. Like, you know, that's just what you want. Nothing wrong with that. But it's like you have to at least be a little open. Be like a little curious what to do. Like,
yeah. Or all right. Thank you
Can
for sharing.
I say something about it?
Yeah. Go ahead, Nadia. Go ahead.
I think it's more like an individual thing, and I understand that it could be scary for certain people, because me and my husband, we're not from the same country, we're not from the same religion, not from the same race. So it means that we are totally different, you know, in our culture. Just talking about culture and religion, he's in a Catholic and I'm a Muslim, and he had to convert into Islam so we could get married and all this. So it could be very intimidating and scary for people to actually adapt and adopt a certain religion, race, and culture. So I guess maybe it's just a lot easier for them to just be in their own race, because then they know the culture of that race. Because then like for me, for example, there are certain things, the culture here in Europe, Western Europe, that I don't like. So it's kind of hard for me to adapt. But I'm willing to do it. Of course, I'm the individual who are willing to do it because I genuinely just wanted to be with my husband, and therefore I just have to adapt to it. But I know it's really hard for a lot of people. There's a lot of sacrifices and a lot of things to think about.
Yeah. No, all I'm gonna say is like for me, I don't mind. I date anything. You know, for me, if I find that person attractive, but I do understand that if I date somebody that's because I'm Tongan, right? But so if I date a girl that's Polynesian, it's easier to date her because she understands my culture. I don't really have to explain to her what my culture and why we do things. But like I said, so I do understand that perspective of why people would date within their culture because it's easier. You don't have to explain like this is how my uncle, this is what we do in our family, this is the traditions.
Yes.
But if you date somebody outside, you have to explain to them, and sometimes they may not understand, or that may cause a conflict in the relationship. So I understand it from that point, but I think it's a normal thing for both men and women just to date something that's very familiar, that is something that you grew up in. All right, but ladies, yeah. Is there a specific thing that you have a problem with, a preference with the men that men have about women? No.
For me, I think it's just, if a man like just wants to look at more on physical, I think that will worry me because eventually my body will change. We all change like physically. So I think if a man looks more physical, it's gonna bother me, like really.
Okay. All right. So men, that is true. Men, we do care, put up a lot of priority in a woman's looks and their beauty. That is true. All right. Jade, you want to say something?
It's not like I don't have a problem. Like I have not run into a problem, I guess, but like it's the whole dating with kids. If you're not dating someone else with kids, it can be really problemsome because they try to like understand, but they don't, and then they eventually like, oh, I don't want to be a step parent, but I never asked you to, like. So then they just like get all weird about it, but they like single moms, so it makes no sense. Like, like you're either gonna like me and my kid or like you're not, so it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
But like, I don't know if I said I had a kid, but I do have a kid.
Yeah.
And I've been dating like men without kids, and I thought it was gonna be easier, but it's not. And I said I wouldn't date guys with kids, but it's looking like that's my best choice because they know. Like we were talking about the
Familiarity.
Yes, familiarity. And it's just like easier that way, but then that's like a whole other thing to date one another with kids. So that I don't like the preference of. I mean, you have the guys that do want like single moms, and then you have the ones that like don't want to be involved with kids. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Hey, Jade, I mean, since you brought it up, do you know why men don't prefer as their first option, if they had an option, to date women with kids? Do you know why?
Probably just the baggage, like from experience. Like my child's father is very intrusive. Sometimes, so it's harder. But like I said, like guys like single moms, but it's like it's not that easy, But I think it's the whole like baggage, the history. They don't want to see you like if you were co-parenting. I mean, there's some that are like passed away or whatever, but like if you're actually co-parenting, I think there's that clash. Like, oh, you have to meet the child's father, or like co-parent eventually, or something like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, based on my conversation with men, I know for most men, they wouldn't want to date a woman with children. And I think the way we see it from the men's perspective, and I'm just explaining it from the men's perspective, I think for most men, they want to raise their own children, right? So so like for most men, if they're gonna be a father, if they're gonna be the provider protector, if they're gonna invest into a relationship, and for most men, their role that they usually play in a relationship is usually the financial provider protector. That's usually the role for most men, and usually what women expect out of men. So for most men, the way we see it, if I'm gonna work hard and be this great man, to be a great father, if I'm gonna invest into a family, I prefer to do it with my own children. I don't want to raise another man's responsibility. Right? and of course, and I've done podcasts with this before, and I've talked to men who dated single moms, one of the things I do hear from them is it's very hard to come into a relationship with a single mom and still be able to have that father figure role in that relationship, because a lot of times a lot of single moms don't allow the men to be the father, have the authority figure. So they'll be just there as the male, but they won't let them have any authority over their kids. And a lot of guys like, look, you want me to be the father for your child, but you're not letting me be the father. You're not letting me be the man in the relationship, right? So for them, it causes a lot of issues in the relationship. And I do understand from the woman's perspective, because you want to protect your children. You don't want to make sure you bring the wrong man that may come in.
Right. It takes time.
Right?
Like,
It takes time.
I'm not asking you to step in and step be the parent. Like, just wait.
but even if you don't expect him to be the parent when you do first meet him, he already understands long term, he has to be the parent eventually. Right.
Yeah. That's what it is.
So the thing is, for a lot of men, is if you're not willing to let him be that man or be that father figure for that child, I think for him it's a lot of issues and complexities, and then it's easier just to go with a woman that has no children and you can raise your own child and you can just be the father for your own kid. Yeah. So it's just like, the thing is, and I have to say, I have to keep it real in the podcast. If the men have options, they're usually, for the most part, they're gonna go and choose a woman that have no kids. Usually, if a man doesn't have any options and his only option is a single mom, and that's what he can only attract, then he probably go date a single mom. But for the men I talk to they're very attractive, they're tall, handsome, got money, they attract a lot of women. If the man has options, he's gonna go with the woman has no children. But usually my conversation with guys, like, if they date a single mom, it's unless, like you said, there are men out there that they made a single mom and they fell in love with them. That's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
The last person I was seeing preferred single moms, or like preferred moms, because they wanted their own kids. They wanted their own future, so they were trying to figure out who already has it. Like already has it together, being a mom. So I thought that was a little like.
And I would say this. Oftentimes, especially today, modern 22, a lot of times single moms have this very independent mentality. I don't need a man because the last man in the relationship left. So they have this very toxic perspective and attitude towards men. So a lot of times, and they tend to be very masculine. And a lot of times for men, like, we want a feminine woman that wants us, that appreciates us, that wants to depend on us. But a lot of times I do, because I have single moms in my family. And all they say is, I don't need you. I don't need a man. I can do this on my own. And a lot of guys like, well, I want to be the man in your life, but you're giving me this like very masculine and independent energy. And I do understand it from the woman's perspective, because if you're a single mom, you have to take the responsibility on your own to be independent and to raise your children. I do understand that. But at the same time, men like femininity. And a lot of times, if a single mom is if the past relationship with the baby daddy has hardened her heart not to open up her feminine nature to that man, a lot of times it can be very, very hard for that man to date a single mom who's very masculine, very independent, because men like femininity.
They do.
All right. But anybody want to add on? Lorna, anything you want to add on to it?
So I was going to stretch in. I'm sitting here listening to a lot, but I guess like overall, like I have a problem with men sexualizing women, just like overall with everyone was talking about, like based on their looks, based on their physical attributes, and like the way they talk about women. Like I've been in a room with like my guy friends, like talking about my friend with big boobs, like right over there, and like confronting him about it. Like, what if I go told her right now? Like, he wouldn't tell her that in person. So like in these little conversations that they have with each other, like I don't like that. Like, at least from what I hear, like I don't like to talk about people that way in general. So yeah, I guess it's just the way they banter to each other is my problem that I have, that falls into their preferences in women.
Okay. Yeah. All right. No worries. I want to respond to Lorna, but I do want to open up for everybody else. Did anybody want to add on? Or I know everybody shared their point of view. Did anybody want to respond to somebody else on the panel based on what they said? It's okay to disagree, guys. It's okay.
Me?
Go ahead, Lay.
So I heard about this a lot when people say,
Oh wait,
"Oh, man,
lady, did you want to go late? I'm sorry, Nadia. I think late. Did
sorry."
you want to go late? Oh, okay. You're good, Nadia. Okay, you're good.
Okay. Sorry. So I heard this a lot where a lot of people are like, "Oh, men are sexualizing women," but I don't know if you know this, but women are some sexy creature, and I mean,
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
built in a way that we are just but we are. I genuinely
Yeah.
think we are. We are built in a way like this so that we are just beautiful, feminine, and just very sexual and attractive, you know? And I guess that is our like our what do you call this? There's pros and cons to this, right? There's pros
Yeah.
and cons
True.
to this. So I just feel like that's not a disadvantage at all to be seen as like beautiful, attractive, and also sexual, I guess. Because
Totally.
at the end
I
of the day,
totally agree.
yes, at the end of the day, we could always use this physical gift, you know, to get what we want. And I know this is a thing that women do sometimes, you know, because I know I
Yeah.
do it too before I was married, so I can get some free food.
I know.
So I mean, I don't know. It's just something. It's just gift. It's a gift. It's gifted by God that we are created in a way that we are attractive and just sexually curved. And it's also because when we are pregnant and we are a mom, there's a certain body that is at the end of the day is going to help the baby that we are, raising. So I guess that's why we have boobs, and that's why we have butts and big hips, because then it's easier for us to deliver babies. So I guess there's always a reason to why we are built the way we are built,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I know it gets I just feel like sometimes it can get really annoying that men just wants to look at our physical stuff, but at the end of the day it's just how they look at women at some point, like, okay, they're attracted to beauty and sexiness, so, and then they're like, go for it, and then we as a woman will decide whether we want to go for it or not. You know what I mean? So it's an advantage for us, I have to say.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Nadia. Late, Joe, do you want to add on?
No, I totally agree with Nadia. It's just, for me, what bothers me is a man looks more on physical, just like more on physical. But I totally agree with what Nadia said. It's true, because like most of us girls are being sexualized because we're sexual. Yeah. And most of the time we use that to our advantage too. So I'm not offended if a guy tries to sexualize us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, no worries. And Lay, did you want to add on?
Yeah. Well, so like I'm a young single mom. So imagine my dating pool. Okay.
Same. Okay. Same.
Like I'm 21, guys. Okay. None of the guys in my age pool have their shit together. And it's ridiculous because it's like, now I'm looking for a man that low-key has their shit together.
That's exactly what it is. I'm looking for a stable man. Not gonna lie, like I'm looking for a man that wants to be a dad. As weird as that sounds, like, but I want someone that wants to be a dad, and it's been okay. Like I've met some people, but then I met that parent. Right, see ya.
Yeah, but it just, okay, see, like, now here's where my issues come in. Okay, because I get scared when they really be like, oh, yeah, so, I want you to have my baby, and all this shit. I'm like, no, you just sound crazy to me. Because it's just like, I can't do that.
That's a threat to me. If you say, I'm going to get you pregnant, that's a threat. Like, no, sir, no.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's like, okay, but I get it, though. Like, guys with money, they don't want the girls with kids because, that's extra. I get it. But it's like, then there's people like me. You're just missing out because, damn. Like, even though, I had the whole kid, you can't blame me. I'm a 16. Like, like I have a little bit of leeway with that. But it's like,
Right.
I just want a man with some money that wants to get their shit together with me, at least, you know. Like I said, you don't have to have your shit all the way together, just as long as you're going somewhere, then we're cool.
Right.
But 21-year-olds don't have their shit together, and well, so that's when I start looking at dudes like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm no hater. Like, I'll date a 30-year-old if I'll do it.
No. See, that was my mistake. I thought 30-year-olds had it, right? So I was dating this 32-year-old. I got played for like 3 months, you know. I thought he said he wanted a family, he wanted like kids, whatever. And I was like, okay, this is it. Like, this is for me. And that was not the case. So, and like for me, I think I have it together for the most part. For the most part. This is things I gotta work on, you know, being 23, whatever. But for 32, bro, like, figure it out. I'm just like, I know what I wanted. And he thought he wanted, and maybe he just didn't want me. Maybe that's what the case was, but I just think it didn't make sense. Like, but then he would come around and say like, oh, I would definitely have you as my children's mom, but didn't want anything else. I was like, yeah, no. So yeah.
Okay.
Can I say something about that? Because I'm a single mom too, and I have 3 kids, and I never had problem with, you know, dating as a single mom. And have 3 kids.
Wow.
And I'm 27. For me, it just really boils down to what you really want and the level of respect to yourself. And then the man will eventually know that, and they will know what they really want, because they will think, what is this girl looking for? Is she looking for someone that will support her? Of course, that will turn them off, right? But if you have high, you know, respect for yourself and you know what you really want, then you're not gonna have problems with dating as a single mom. You know?
Okay.
It's just for me.
All right, no worries. Anybody else want to add on? I do have some points I just want to go over, but just want to make sure I give everybody some time. I do want to respond to some of y'all.
I just realized that must be ain't shit.
All right, let me read some comments real quick, and then I'll respond to you ladies, and then we can move on to the next topic. So let me just go some. I see Mr. Anderson on the live show. Mr. Anderson said, "Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, what's up, Mr. Anderson? Hey, thank you for tuning in already live on the show. What's up, Mr. Anderson?" I think Iaga the Gem said, "I agree with Jade. It's seen as baggage. My older bro dated and ended up marrying a woman with a daughter. It was a big responsibility for him to step into that role, but he finds it rewarding." All right, no worries. All right, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, shout out to him.
Another brother.
And I see TL. Hey, what's up, TL, man? Thank you for joining on, being on a live podcast. Ladies, I wrote some things real quick on your responses. I just want to respond to some of the things you said, and let me know what you guys think, and then we'll move on to the next topic. I know Lorna, you said that you have a problem with men sexualizing women. All right, so I don't have a problem with you saying that. I think Lorna, that perspective is a product of our society. I think modern society has gotten to a point where it kind of ignores the biology between the sexual attraction between men and women. If you understand the biology of how we naturally are, I think for men, like I told you guys before, there's a biological reason why women prefer men who are taller, has financial and ability to take care of it, to be a provider, protector, to be a good leader. If you look at the studies, they said that the biological reason is because of pregnancy. So when you get pregnant as a woman, it is in your best interest to align yourself with a strong man, that when you go through your 9 months of vulnerability in your physical state, you want a guy to take care of it. You know, you want a guy to be able to handle that responsibility, that when you're carrying with child and you're going through all those things that you guys women have to deal with in pregnancy, you know, you don't want a man that's broke and a loser, right? Because how is he going to take care of you if you're pregnant? So that's why you want a guy that's tall, you want a guy that's good provider, protector, good leader, has a good ability to provide for you financially, because biologically that is a good mating strategy for you to be able to create a family and make sure the family thrives and doesn't die off, right? But for men, it's opposite. What we prefer women is, because like I said, we're created to procreate. Like we want to have sex And we're designed to seek women that can have children. And then one of the things that we can recognize within a woman that shows that she's fertile is big titties, ass, wide hips, and the ILS triggers. So those things.
That's a
No.
mom vibe. Okay. Mom vibe.
So for us,
Opposite.
so I know it might sound weird, but if you look at the reason, the biological reason is when we see a woman with wide hips, we see a woman with big titties, it shows us, oh, this is a woman that I can have sex with and create a family with. That she's ready to have children. So it's a biological. So when we see that, it's our biological nature to look and to be attracted to you. It's like if a woman walks past me with big titties and big ass, I don't even make a choice. My body just turns. It just automatically just looks.
Mine does too.
All right. It's the same reason for you. Like when you see a man that's very tall, has broad shoulders and a solid chest. As a woman, innately within your biology, you're gonna look, you're gonna attract. Because the reason why a lot of women like a guy that has a broad shoulders, chest, and as tall, because that shows you as a woman that he's physically he can provide for you, he can take care of you, so you feel safe with that man. Oh, that guy's tall, handsome, he can probably do something, he can probably take care and provide for you, so that's why you're attracted to it. So I don't think there's nothing wrong for men sexualizing women. I don't want them to be weirdos, right? To say some weird shit to you. That's crossing the line. But if a man looks at you because you're beautiful, that's normal. That is just normal, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, call me beautiful, that's fine. But like when it gets weird and rude or like rudely direct, then that's where it's
I understand that.
Yeah.
And also this, I would say this. I do see sometimes a lot of women would say, why are men objectifying me? But at the same time, I see that women will objectify men, especially men with money. So I've heard it from women, like when they see a guy with money, with a nice car, with a nice house, all those women are like, oh, that's the type of man I want. I want to have his babies. Like they're rushed, like they're all over his DMs, or they're trying to holler at him and give him signs to approach. So I've seen that both ways. And also at the same time, I've seen a lot of women, they do objectify themselves. And I see a lot of women, the way they dress, you know what you're doing when you dress like that. You want the attention. You want men to look. But then you have a problem with men looking when you obviously dress in a way that shows your bodily features. Like, it's for me, it's like sometimes I see a lot of women, why are you looking at my breasts? I'm like, yeah, because your breasts are all out. Like, how can I miss that, right? Like, I'm just saying, if you don't want men to look, cover up. But sometimes I see it's kind of hypocritical for women to say, why are you sexualizing me? Are you barely wearing anything, right?
Yeah,
right.
Because that's what we think. Because that's what we think you want. That's
exactly.
what you're giving the signs that you want, and it's like, but you want to know my body count? It's like, it's a problem, and then it's like these other things.
I think it's, for me, it's normal. Like, there's certain things, like I agree with Nadia. There's certain things that women look for in objectifying men because it's biologically, there's a biological reason for that. And I think that's normal. And I think for men, we have seen things that we look for with women. I think the biggest problem over why this conversation is always hard to have with women, because I think what happens is if you don't like what the other person wants because you don't have that within yourself, a lot of people can't take accountability to make sure that they do the things they need to do to be attractive, right? So sometimes I hear a lot of men saying, because I have friends right now who are short, they're like 5'5", like most women are not looking at them, right? They can either complain about it, why do all these women they don't want to date short guys, and those women are insecure, they don't want to they can't handle this short king, But a lot of guys who are 5'5", my friends, they accept the reality that they know most women date taller men. So they take accountability for, I'm 5'5", I cannot change that. But one thing I can do is I can work on myself to be physically in shape. I can make sure I have a good job, have a future, so that way I can find a woman. So he takes the responsibility to add value to himself so that he can make himself more attractive to women. Right. But I think sometimes in life we don't make the right choices, or we don't put the work within ourselves to invest into ourselves to become attractive, so we can attract the type of men and women we want. And those people who don't want to put in the work, they tend to complain and put the blame on the other person. Or the reason why you don't want me because it's your problem. No, the reason why I don't like it because you don't meet the things I'm looking for. So you have two options. Either you can complain and blame the other person, or you can take accountability and step up and work on yourself so you can get the results you want. But I think it's for a lot of women, it's hard for them because they have to take accountability and accept the consequences of their choices. So if you decide to, like, as a woman, like, men are looking for attractive younger women. So, for a lot of ladies, like, if you don't want to work on yourself to be at least healthy, take care of yourself, take care of your body, if you let yourself go and be overweight, and then you can't get mad if guys like, no, I don't want to date overweight women. You can't get mad. You chose that for your life. No understanding what men want. It's the same thing for men. I have a lot of guys right now, my friends who are broke, and they're not ambitious. They're lazy, undisciplined, but they complain why a lot of women don't attract a lot of women. And I tell them all the time, because you're broke and you're deadbeat, right? You're fat and lazy. You can't go, right? Why? I wouldn't even want my own sister to date you, right?
I have
Right.
a question for you, Will.
So,
because,
yeah.
I guess I look at this way, and I don't know if men look at this way, but if women doesn't want, men control the access to relationships and marriage.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
So if women don't want it, so men would date a woman because they're physically attractive, but they would stay with a woman if they contributes more to the relationship and marriage, and if they see the future, right? Or not, like they contribute differently, not just physically and just being pretty, but also they contribute in a different ways that make the man feel important, because I think men just wants to feel important in a relationship and marriage. They want to feel needed. They want to feel like they are the man, and they want to feel that they are in control of certain things, which is for me not a problem, right? But is that what a man want? Because if that's what a man want, then I guess women should start working towards that. Like who wanted a masculine man, like a man in the house. I'm saying like a man who makes decision in the house.
No, I think I totally understand where you're coming from. I think we have to understand there's a difference between sexual attraction and a relationship, right? So sexual attraction only gets you to the door to be qualified for that person, right? So if most men are looking for a woman that's beautiful and young and attractive, that's a good start for you to attract him, to come to you, to pursue you, right? Because at the end of the day, if he doesn't approach you or pursue you, then there's no relationship, right? So the sexual attraction piece for both men and women, that's for us to be able to qualify ourselves so that way we can be attracted to each other. So once we're attracted, and now we're attracted, now we are together now we have to form a relationship. And then when it comes to relationships, that's all the other stuff that outside the sexual attraction we have to bring value to the relationship.
Right.
So as a woman, like I said, just because you're attractive as a woman, you still attract men, but you won't keep a man. The same thing with a man that's very handsome, right? Or or tall, right? You attract a lot of women, but if you don't have any, if you're a cheater, if you don't treat her well, if you're disrespectful, you're not going to keep her around.
Exactly. So I think the key, you said something, value. So I guess at the end of the day, what keeps a relationship strong and going is that you have to have the same values.
Exactly. But the attraction, like I said, the attraction is important because that's what gets us to the door.
Right.
Because like I said, like you can have great value to add to a relationship, but if you're, like I said, I don't want to sound harsh to the ladies, but if you're fat and obese and overweight, you may have great value in a relationship, but most men will not see you or not approach you because they're not sexually attracted. The sexual attraction part is important because that's what gets us to come to you and attract to you. But then once you get there, then you have to have value, right? So it's good to have. That's like I said, but that's why you have to work on both. It takes a lot of work. But I think for both men and women, what I've seen from both men and women, that's why sometimes it's hard. That's what when I see people who blame the other sex for what they want. From my observation, it's because what they're saying is the shoe fits for them, and they don't want to accept the reality and the consequences. Oh, he's talking about me, instead of saying, you know what, I can need to work on myself to change that, so that way I can be more attractive. But they don't. But they want to blame the other person. I think that's what's happening today. And I think for men, we understand the harsh reality because women will say it openly. Like women will say, "I want a guy at 6 foot." You see on TikTok, 6 foot, 6 figures, 6 inches. And you see that all the time on TikTok. And we, as men, like we understand that. Like we're very logical. Like we just understand. All right, it is what it is. If this is what women want. Either I step up to the game so I can attract those women. And if I don't step up to the game, then it is what it is. Then I gotta settle for what's available. But I do see sometimes a lot of women, they don't want to settle. Like they have this mentality, like I deserve it all. And nobody's really telling them the truth. Like you're not gonna get everything you want. You actually have to work for it.
That's
And
true.
I think that's for men. We speak honestly about it with each other. But what I do see with a lot of women when they talk to each other, they tell each other all the time, bitch, you're a bad bitch. You got like regardless of how she lives. I've seen women talk to each other like regardless of the choices they make. You guys will tell each other that you're the best. You're a 10. And for men, it's opposite. Like if my friend's fat and overweight, I'm not gonna tell him, oh, dude, you're a 10, bro. You're you're good looking. No, I'm gonna tell you, you're a fat, lazy piece of shit. I'm gonna tell him straight up. If you want a man, if you want to grow up and be a man, you want to attract a good husband, a good wife to attract and raise children, then work on yourself and step up. But at the end of the day, it's hard. I do see that's why sometimes that conversation is hard. All right,
I totally agree.
All right. But yeah, that's just I wanted to add on real quick. Anybody wanted to respond to what I said? You agree, disagree? No? Yes?
Right. I agree with what you said because the reason why I didn't have problems dating is because I didn't date it. It was not my intention to date first because I want to work on myself.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure, is my credit okay? Do I have a house? Can I support my kids? And then that just happened.
Yeah. All right. No worries. All right. Jade, anything you want to add on real quick before we move on? All right. No worries. Thank you so much. But yeah, ladies, that was the topic that we discussed. I know we always started hot. Always hot topics to start off the controversial podcast. But thank you so much for the open conversations. And I see everybody in the live chat. I see you guys are having your own conversations and podcasts on the live chat. You guys are discussing. But yeah, everybody out there at the end of the day, like I said, I think, and just to sum it up, I don't agree in today's society that we should shame people for what they want. I don't think that's good. I think that people should have preferences of what they like, and like I said, if you either accept it or take the responsibility for it. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget that the link is posted in the live chat if you guys are watching this right now, and if you guys want to jump on, definitely jump on with us. But let me pass it to you, ladies. Ladies, I know you guys have your questions and topics. And don't hold back, ladies. Don't hold back on your topics. Let's have some good discussions tonight. But let me start off with I'll start off with you, Joe. Joe, what is your topic? What's your question? Let's bring it up and we'll go right into it.
Oh, sure. This is just a random question that I posted on Twitter. And let me just check. I got like interesting answers here. So the question that I posted, if your boyfriend cheated and you cheated too to get back at him, what does that make you?
All right. Okay, so that's the question. Joe's asking if your boyfriend cheats and you cheated on him, what does that make you? All right. I'll start with you, Lay. I see you laughing. Go ahead, Lay. Let me know what you think.
Well, look here, I already admitted who I am, okay? Like I said, I ain't shit. So if I'm doing that, like, I'm doing that because, like, you're going to feel how I feel. And then, like, I don't know, but that makes me ain't shit even more. Just because, like, damn, I really went that low just to do that to you. I could have really just left your ass and been ground about it, but I don't know. I feel like people who do that, I don't know why they do that. Like, you really just don't want to be with them at that point. Because what was the point of that? Because, like, if you really fuck with him and, like, he fucked with you and, like, you guys really had something and he did that and it was, like, a one-time thing, then, like, that's different. But it couldn't be nothing too crazy because there's never come back from, like, you, like, really, like, straight, like, fucking somebody. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because, like, there's a difference. Because, like, especially, like you said, like, women were emotional. So, like, if, like, that guy is, like, having sex with, like, this girl, she's having an emotional connection with him. Especially if, like, they really out there really just doing it, like, like, no condoms and nothing, like, And so, like, the fact that, like, I'm really trying to play get back, because, like, I know I probably wouldn't take it that far for the get back. Like, I'll probably be like, oh, my God, like, I'm probably just going to kiss guy, go on a date or something. Like, And that's, like, my petty payback, okay? Mm-hmm. But, like, if I was going and fucking somebody else, I just ain't shit.
All right. I guess that's Lay's answer to Joe, right? She just ain't shit. All right. All right. All right. Let me pass it to Jay. Jay, what do you think? If your man cheats and you cheat on him, what does that make? Or if a woman cheats, if the man cheats and the woman cheats, what does that make? What does that make the woman? Go ahead, Jade.
What does that mean? If they both cheat, there really is no, like, they're just not shit. They're not for each other. That's it. Like, one is probably payback, but that means you should not be together. Like,
Yeah.
no answer to, like, there's no way around that one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No worries. Thank you for saying that, Jade. Let me pass it to you, Lorna. Lorna, what do you think?
It's just toxic. Like, no. Like, kind of what Lay was saying. Like, if you're gonna cheat on him, like, you just want to have fun at this point. Like, you're just stirring the pot, creating more drama, creating more things to yell about, to argue about. Like, end it. You should have ended it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's too much. Ew.
All right. No worries. All right. So toxic from Lorna. All right. No worries. I see Yaga. Yaga said on the live comments. She said they both for the streets. All right. No worries. Thank you for sharing that. Yaga the gem. But let me pass it to you, Nadia. Nadia, what do you think, Nadia?
I guess for me, it just makes both of them a cheater. That's all. It's just lowering down the standards that you have. And also it just shows they just both are not ready for relationships. That's all. For me, it's that simple. Both are not ready for relationships and both are cheaters. That's all.
Okay. All right. No worries. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Nadia. Yeah. I mean, I guess from my perspective, if the woman does that, she belongs to the streets.
I know you didn't just do that.
No, but just to be fair, no, I think it's very toxic. I think if both parties are doing things to hurt each other purposely, intently, I don't think that's what a healthy relationship is, because the relationship is supposed to we do things to uplift and help and help each other. But I think if we're doing things for the purpose of creating conflict and hurting each other, I think that's very toxic. I do agree. I think both parties need to step aside and definitely do some soul searching and looking within themselves. But I think for me it's like, and I guess to all the ladies out there, I want to ask you guys real quick. For me, I'm very logical. So for me, it's like if the man cheats and purposely hurting you in a relationship, why not just leave? That's just, I guess, my question to Lay. Like, why not just leave? why purposely go out there and create that toxicity and go find another man to sleep with?
Listen. Why don't
just leave?
Because this is not coming from like me. This is just like me just knowing people. Like, I know people from both ends. Okay, like I know people who just like who do the right thing, and I know people who will really just what. I just gotta do them grimy because that's like what I gotta do. And it's like just seeing from like both perspective and like saying it like that, like saying it in like the sense of like, okay, I'm cheating just to cheat, just to get back at him. Like, you're just doing that to be more so toxic, and you're doing that out of your own personal enjoyment, because like you're really not gaining nothing from it. You're just really doing it because like I really have nothing else to do, And it's like, okay, like I just want to see, like, do you kind of still care about me? Like, because it'll be kind of like in that sense, like, okay, I just cheated on you. Now, how do you feel? Like, because, like, women will emotionally, like, get at you like that. Because, like, yeah, you hurt me, like, in a physical way, but I'm finna fuck you up. Like, I have to, like, get at you, like, mentally. Like, you have to feel this. At least that's how I would do it.
But Lay, like, but don't you think, like, for me, the way I see it is, even if you do that, that's not going to help the situation. That's just the way I see it.
Exactly. It doesn't. But like I said, I know women who do that, like who just do that. Like, I don't do that. Like, I got to go. I can't do that. I got to go. I can't do that. Like if you go cheat on me, you can't do that to me.
No worries.
I'm cutting out faster than you can say goodbye. But the people that I know who do that, because I'm not gonna cheat on you, because I'm single at that point. You just cheat on me, I'm single. You better know that, because I make that known in the beginning. Like, that's like my boundaries. But like women who go through that and do that, yeah, they can be petty.
All right. No worries. Thank you, Chanel. Lorna, you wanted to add on? I know you want to add on something.
Yeah, I feel like the women do that because, like, why did they have to cheat in the first place? Why couldn't you just break up with me? Like, you're really gonna go over here and bring this bomb to me? Okay, well, let's stir up the fucking pot. Like, I'm bored anyway. Like, let's do it. Like you get us so heated and you get us so going crazy. It's like, well, you know what? I'll show you crazy. Now we're gonna have fun. Let's get my brothers, let's get my girls, and let's go ape shit. Cause I'm bored at this point. Like, let's just avoid it. But avoid it.
You're just not gonna do me like that.
Anybody can go there. Like, all of us can go there really quick. But like, we choose peace. We choose like self-love. Like, you know, like we choose to be strong, independent women.
I think also one thing I want to add on real quick. You know, like I've seen it happen before. But sometimes a lot of women will go find a guy that to cheat with, but then they'll find a good guy and cheat with them and mess him up.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's a cycle. It just passes on like trauma.
Like you go to your friends list all the guys in your friends. Okay, I'm gonna pick this guy.
That's why our dating sucks.
Anyways, I see Thai Game Michael on the live chat. Say, what's up, TEL, the game Michael? No game by Thai Game. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey, thank you for being on the live podcast. Hey, man, jump on, man. If you're watching this right now, the public link is on the live chat. Jump on and be part of the conversation. We got some wild guys. We got some wild. Yeah, we need some guys on here.
We have questions.
I do have a question.
All right. Who had a question?
I had a question.
All right, go ahead, Jade. Go ahead.
What the fuck does space mean? Like, what? I go back to the fucking 32-year-old. Sorry for my swear words, but you know, I'm out in the game. Like, it's been a while. I've been in a 5-year relationship, right? And this is like the first serious guy I was kind of seeing, and it was only like 3 months, right? And I put myself out there for some reason, and literally twice in the a situationship, he's like, I need space. Like, you're doing too much. You're too much. And I was like, I see you 1 to 2 times a week. We don't live together. I'm busy. I was working 2 jobs at the time, and I have a kid. Whatever. So what did that space mean? Like, and I tried to elaborate. Like, are you seeing someone? Like, is it? I didn't get it, but he claims it was for his career, right? He was working on his side business, his painting business that he was creating, whatever. Okay, great. Like, I can support you with that. Why did you not want me to support you with that? What? And I was thinking, I think it meant like he wanted a relationship, but just not with me.
Yeah.
But then I was still around for 3 whole months. So why did I waste my time? To just I kept saying, like, are we in this? Like, are we in this? Like, are we doing it? Are we boyfriend girlfriend? No.
All right. No worries. Thank you, Jade. And I actually have some guys that want to jump on real quick. So perfect timing.
He only likes me, but not enough to marry me. That is true.
Let me add the public guest real quick. Hey, what's up, Daniela? Hey, thank you for jumping on, being a public guest. And you came in the right time because Jade wants to ask, why do men say, I need some space to women? I'll pass it to you, Daniela. What do you think?
I'm guessing this is the guy, similar age bracket.
How old are you?
28, going on 29.
Okay, he was 32.
No, for you,
I'm
same
20.
age bracket as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. A vast majority of the men and the sort of caliber of men don't really have time for relationships. So when we think about career, certain pursuits, we're not ready for a relationship. So the telltale say, I guess, thing for you to look for is he brutally honest? Because I think vast majority of us men will say we're not ready for a committed relationship. I certainly said that to my wife 7 years ago. But with also that, I said to her, hey, not ready for a relationship. I'm willing to make this work, whatever it is, whether we're friends with benefit, entertain each other, be company to each other. But I'm not going to promise you a relationship out of this. So it's at your own prerogative to decide to stay or not. There's a potential there, but I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, 3 months, 6 months, we're going to do this.
Right.
About 9 to 12 months later, I've said to her, hey, you've stuck around for this long. You've showed me what a wife is, essentially. And I can't go unwillingly and not basically look past that. So I said, hey, I'm going to make a decision. And basically that decision is to be with you. If you want to be with me, we'll make it work. I'm not going to promise you I'm going to be the perfect guy from day one, but I'll work on it. So when men say they're not ready, they really mean it. A vast majority of women think that this is a hint of, stick around, try and figure it out. If I nag, if I brag, and if I stick around, he's going to change his mind. Find someone who's accountable enough to tell you how it is. And if there's potential there, there's potential there. But don't sit there hoping that this guy's going to change his mind. So it's actually your choice to stay or don't stay. So we don't hint. Vast majority of the men that the type of guy you're describing to me is very brutally honest. So he wasn't hinting.
He was very.
So it's.
And I was still like delusional. Like, are you sure? Like, I knew what I was worth. Like, are you sure? Like, you want me to go? Cause like that'll be good. But he was honest. He, there was one point where he said like, I'm not giving you all that you deserve, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel really guilty. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Cause like he had stated like he wanted a family, and that's what I stuck around for. Cause I was ready to have that, dad figure again, like be back out there. And I'm like a relationship person. So like, I really wanted like, okay, you want a family? I'm willing to give you a family. But that's just me being delusional. Because what was I thinking?
No, I think
not it.
I think you're just a woman. The one thing to say to men like that is, hey, I'm not willing to spend the next extra 3 to 4, maybe 9 months waiting for you. If you want to make a decision whether you want to be with me or not, that's up to you. But I don't have the capacity or the emotional capacity to take this on for the next however long. So mostly when you give it to a man straight, he's going to weigh out his options. He's going to weigh out how that dynamic's going to look, and we'll say, okay, I really am not ready for a relationship, but I know that this girl is amazing, and I can see that there's a potential future there. I need to make a decision, and you have to be ready for the ultimate no. Essentially, like I don't think I can tolerate it, but be ready to walk away too. Like my wife, she could have walked away from me at the first month, the second month, 5th month, but she hung around. So that showed commitment to me in the sense that we all have these questions. Why be a wife when you're not going to wife me up? Well, my wife was a wife before she even became a relationship. So hence why we're together for 7 years. Yeah. So have the strength to walk away from something that is potentially good, because at the end of the day, there is no one. You'll find another guy, but instead of sitting there and essentially hurting yourself, be willing to walk away and give him not so much an ultimatum, but be honest with him. I want a relationship, but I'm not going to sit here and waste each other's time.
Yeah, it got to that point, but it's over and done with. So fortunately, so I learned my lesson, and at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm done dating. And that was the first guy I dated after being a 5-year relationship. So I was like, you know what, this ain't for me.
Honestly, ladies, for you, your best safety measure is no less than 5 months to be with a guy. Be absolutely sure that this guy is going to be the guy that's going to be very accountable towards the things that he does. He's resilient. Things go wrong, he's going to be able to stand there and be the anchor of your relationship. Not only that, he's disciplined. he's with you, and when the world offers him the temptations of other women, he's going to sit there and go, no, I made a decision to be with this woman, and I'm going to stick by that. So 5 months minimum, please.
Okay. 5 months
All
minimum.
right. No worries. No worries. Let me just read a real comment real quick. I seen Iaga the Gem said, Daniela is dropping some knowledge right now. Hey, man, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Iaga. That's why we call him the professor. But ladies, ladies, let me go back to you guys. Anything you want to add on? Jade, that was a great topic. And thank you, Daniela, for jumping on and adding your perspective. But ladies, anything you want to add on to the conversation that they just had? Any thoughts that you guys want to just add on to it? Lee?
Okay, yeah, but see, now here's the thing now. I don't know if this is like a very, I don't know what to even call this thing. Because, like, I've given that I guess it's more so an ultimatum, like, yeah, do you want to be with me or you don't? And then walking away. Like, that's more like an ultimatum, you know? And I give this ultimatum 3 years later. Like after, you know, been on and off, just been like, but for some reason we just keep coming back to the same old thing. So it's like, you know, after having that and being willing to walk away and still for some unknown reason still coming back, it's like, what could that, like, I don't understand that. Like, do you want that space? Do you not want me? I don't know what that is. Like, what is that? If that makes sense. I don't know if y'all ever. Yeah, toxic.
Yeah, so I'm not just saying that this is for good men. Sorry, Will, for jumping on.
Good way.
Accountability is, I'm big with accountability. A man who's accountable will say to you exactly what he means. He wants you or he doesn't want you. And you have to take it at the first time he tells you that. So if he's not even giving you a direct answer, then you are literally wasting your time. Whether on or off, whether you see something potential, accountability is huge, especially for us men. If you can find an accountable man, you'll know exactly where you are, even when it really doesn't align with what you want out of that dynamic.
Exactly. It's really just a friend at this point. Because he's just a friend. We don't do anything, nothing like that. But for some unknown reason, he's still very like sexually attracted to me, like, you know, always wants to like try to hug on me more and do all that, and I'm just like, look, bro, I'm not a cuddle teddy bear, okay? Like, I don't know what this is. You're giving me way too many mixed signals. You say you want to be my friend, then you're doing this, and then like, you know, you don't want to give me direct answers on what you want, and it's like, what is this? Like, this is why you're still a friend, and like, you can't. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I will add on this. You know, this water lady, and I've talked to this with Daniela before. You know, men, we're territorial by nature. So when we want you, if a man really wants you, the more clarity he's going to give you to know where you stand in the relationship.
I keep telling myself that.
And if he doesn't want you, if he's not intentional, if he doesn't want you, then they're going to make it vague. But I'm telling you right now, when a man really wants you, it's going to be absolutely clear, because we want to make sure that you're my woman. We want to let the other man know, this is my woman. This is my territory.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm very like, you know, but then you get jealous and then you start being weird, and it's like, you're just my friend. I don't understand.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He's just being a man. Like,
I
think he's just being a man. You're giving him a level of access that most men don't usually get to. So he's just playing that. He's just leveraging an access you've given him. And that's why it's a confusing dynamic, because he knows, I know Lai is going to give it to me if I play my cards right, you know, sweet talk you and act a certain way, and then once he gets it, he acts all weird, and then you find that confusing again. He's just a man. He just wants sex, and he will do anything and everything to get it. And the key is to find whether he's accountable for it or not. If he's going to come out and say, I just want sex, that's all I want. I don't want a relationship.
We don't have sex.
which makes it even more weird, because he's trying.
You can work something out there, but like, you're just like, you say you want to be my friend, but then you
cut him off.
Yeah.
Cut him off. Yeah. Cut him off.
Yeah.
It's
the access. Like,
yeah,
you gotta go.
I just kick it to the rocks.
Yeah, he don't get
That's
it.
crazy. He don't get it exactly.
Because it's
He
like a
get it.
respect thing too. Like we're very like us as women are very. We know what we want from the beginning. Like, so if he's not respecting that,
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So Lay, you said Lay, you say you're not having sex, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my god.
She said that's crazy.
Not to say it like that.
That's
Not to say it like that. But like.
All right, no worries. Thank you for everybody on the live chat. Oh, we got another male guest that wants to jump on real quick with us. I see you, Ty Game Michael. Wanted to jump on real quick to be part of the panel. Let me add him on real quick. Hey, what's up, Ty Game Michael?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's up?
All
brother?
right. Now listen. This about to be real quick, okay? It's about to be really quick. Now I don't know if y'all answered this already because I was trying to get on here. But to the I think it's Jade. All right.
I've been going through it.
She was asking what do the space mean and why do he need space? Now somebody already answered this, I apologize. But he needs space because you're not the one. He needs space because he didn't want you. Because he's making up this whole thing for space. You said you only seen him once or twice a week and y'all didn't live together. Yeah. That's not nearly enough time to smother somebody that's actually into you. You understand what I'm saying?
That's what I thought. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Exactly. So you just wasn't the one for him. Not saying you ain't the one for somebody else.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's all I wanted to come on here and say real quick. Will T, what's up, homie?
What's up?
I will not say your name. And I get on a later show where I can really be on here, but I just wanted to get on there and say that.
Yeah.
You just wasn't it.
I guess not. Unfortunately, like, you know, that's
unfortunately. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it.
I get really sad just like knowing you're wasting my time. Like,
right. Because I mean people got feelings.
Yeah. And I really thought it was there.
But Will,
yep.
you have a great night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ready to come. I'm ready to come back on the show where we gonna really get it popping.
You already know.
I got some things to say when I be hearing these ladies. When these ladies be up here talking about all that, you know, let's go cheat, etc.
We need more men talking about it.
For real.
Remember,
because all they do is lie.
Remember, I'm about to go. But no matter what happens in life, ladies, remember the facts remain the same. There's no game but tie game. I'm out.
All right, brother. Deuces. All right, man. Thank you so much.
I go the gem. That's probably true. You know, I left that toxicity and blessings just started to pop up after that. So
yeah,
it's
no worries.
And also Jade, like I feel like this is also a lesson for you, and I guess then you will know in the future what to look forward to, how to do this. And I mean it's never really a waste of time when it comes to relationship, the goods and the bads, and you will learn. And I think sometimes you are meant to be in the path of probably men like this, because then you would understand more what you want and need in life. I guess that's how you can
absolutely. Now I kind of get of
exactly.
like what's next, and you know the next guy.
All right.
I mean, there's a guy, but
on to.
Yes, and you know, girl, like you are gorgeous as hell, so I don't think that would be a problem.
You know, you would think it'd be really easy. Like I know pretty, and I really appreciate, like, you know, I'm not trying to brag, but like I know, and like that's why I'm like confused why I keep being treated like this. But it's not easy for me, because then people like the last guy is always like, oh, you can get anybody, blah blah blah. You just like attention, blah blah blah. I'm like, bro, but I like you. Like I don't know how hard that is to like understand.
I'm gonna probably confuse a lot of you guys, especially with that whole space thing. I had an expectation that I always managed when I was dating, and that was do not blow up my phone. It's not a space thing. I'm an ambitious guy. I'm busy at work. I don't want to be flicking through my phone for your texts all day long, having to call you back. I will find a time, and I'm gonna commit all that time when I do find it to you and only you. But when I need to work, I need to work. And the reason for that is, if you can respect me when I'm out there doing whatever it is that I need to do, I know when we're together, you're going to understand that even more when we're in a relationship. I'm doing this not for me, but potentially for the relationship that we might be getting into. So there's a difference. People will say, I need space. Those are the type of people that you need to avoid. But when a guy says, I'm busy because I'm hustling or I'm working on a goal or an ambition, you need to learn how to differentiate the two. I need time is different from I'm busy, I'm working on a goal, I'm working on a career pathway that I need to achieve a certain level of standards in there. And because this is the difference. People who want time don't truly understand what it takes to be in a relationship. You don't get time apart in a relationship. It's work from the day you commit to the day you essentially go 6 feet under. It's constant work. And people don't realize that. And they talk about this whole thing. Oh, I need space. We need space from each other. Nobody. That's not what you signed up for. That's not what relationships are for. It is work, and it is hard work, but it's rewarding. So learn to differentiate the two. Busy and I need time is just two different things.
That makes
And
sense.
most of the men that sound...
No, go ahead.
Well, most of the men you're attracted to would be very busy. So learning to differentiate those two.
Nathaniel, I do agree. I do agree. If you're in a committed relationship, I think it's nonsense to say that you need space if you're in a committed relationship. I think when people say they need space in a committed relationship, I think for me, like that's like a hall pass, to step out and do what they got to do. Because like I said, when you're committed to somebody, that's why you sign up for to be with that person. I think for me, it doesn't make sense. But thank you so much, Jay, for the great topic. Ladies, thank you so much for the conversations. And shout out to Ty Game. Thank you so much for jumping on real quick to show us some love. Hey, we keep it real on the podcast, y'all. We keep it real on here, real unfiltered conversations. I see some people on the podcast, on the live chat for the first time. I see Zachary Ganundo. I don't know, first time on the live podcast. I see he posted on the live chat. He said, toxic, all of you, separated but still married. But I always love my wife forever. Stop being single and work. LOL. Oh, Zachary, I don't know what that's about, but thank you for being on the live. Thank you for being on the live chat. And I see Ty Game. I know he posted some comment real quick. He said, what's Jade info? I got some advice for her. Ty Game, but no game by Ty Game. I'll definitely drop the links below the game Michael for all the ladies. So if you want to connect with them. But yeah, thank you for everybody on the live chat. I see you guys are going hard and with each other on the live chat. Hey, appreciate you guys sharing what you guys think on the live chat. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget, this is a public podcast. If you want to jump on, click on that link. And don't forget to like and subscribe to show some love to the channel if you support the channel. But let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next topic. Let me go to Lorna. Lorna, what's your topic, Lorna, you want to bring up? And we'll go right into it.
Okay. So my topic is, why can't all men be gentlemen? Like, I feel like in this dating, I'm 27, and like the options for like, I guess, easy dating would be going out or social media or like the apps or anything, which I don't do anymore because men are rude. Like, they are rude and disgusting, and it's just like totally ruined my experience with like dating online. And so like now I'm on the streets trying to figure it out and make my way through the drunkenness of people and their emotions, and it is hard. And like, yeah, so why is it so hard for men to be gentlemen?
Like the bar for men is set in hell, like so low. Like literally, I go on dates and I don't like even want to say anything, but like I just expect. I'm like a hopeless romantic, and I expect flowers like on my first date. And literally every single guy that I've went on a date with, nothing. Okay, great, that's fine. Like it's cool, but then I just know like you're not it. Like, how hard is it to
Right.
do
There's like
more?
a kind of a
And
blueprint.
like, and then it's so sad when you get surprised by it, because like, you know, like one guy like opened the car door for me, and I was like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
is this
Right.
what it is?
Right.
And it's like the bar is literally in hell. Like, guys just have like,
Yeah.
they
But
don't
but
care.
it's like there's a difference between those expectations and then that being like the bare minimum.
The bare minimum.
You know, like it's
All right.
shaky.
All right. You know what? I know I want to get the other panels involved. I know what Daniela you went, so I'll save Daniela's response. I know that was a question for the fellas, but I just want to make sure we get everybody going. I know Joe. I know you've been quiet a little bit. So, what do you think about Lorna's question? Why do you think a lot of men are no longer gentlemen today? Go ahead, Joe.
It's easy. It's feminism. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Can you
And I
explain?
think they're not to blame. They're not the ones, to blame. I think some men, because I mean, we're advocating that men and women should be equal, right? So we get offended when we don't get a seat at the train or whatever, but we're claiming that we're equal. So what's up with that, right? I think that's the main reason why, and it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. All right. No worries. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Joe. Feminism. All right. All my feminists out there, my those are the best buddy, my best supporters on my podcast, all the feminists. But thank you so much. Let me pass it to you, Nadia. What do you think? Why do you think men are no longer gentlemen today?
Feminist. There you go. That's the answer. Feminism. Gotta get rid of that one because they're trying to get rid of masculinity. They're trying to get rid of men, being traditional, maybe in a way that makes women like, hey, we're independent, we can do this. But I genuinely feel, and this comes from my brothers say this to me as well, because I have 3 brothers, right? And they're like, I know that if you can do something, but sometimes just let your man do it. It's not really a bad idea to just let your man do it and just
Right.
be on the driver's seats.
I mean, yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, so I think that men are what they are now, like the younger generation. I think the younger men, like in the 20s, is because they see also a lot of women, and I'm talking about modern Western women mostly, are doesn't want to be treated a certain way. So if you don't want men to treat you with respect, like traditional way, then you ended up having men who disrespect you and wouldn't treat you the way you want, like you want it, right? Which is, oh, don't push the door for me, don't open the door for me, don't do this for me, I can do it myself, you think I can't do it,
right?
But yeah, I think man knows you can do it, but sometimes they just want to do it for you, and I think that it's a good thing. If you want to do it for me, why don't you just do it for me? I don't see a problem to that. So
I agree. And plus, plus if you are really a strong, independent woman, you don't have to say it. You don't have to.
All right.
Yeah, I guess right now I just feel like independent women, strong women needs a new definition, because people tend to be like independent women are like women who don't need men. I'm like, no, that's not true, girl. We need men. We need men.
For ladies,
100%. Yeah.
I was looking around, and I look at men, building buildings, right? Like constructions and all this. And I'm like, oh my God, and how in the world these feminists are telling us that we don't need men? Like, in what sense does that even make sense? So I just feel why men are no longer gentlemen is because of the feminists as well, and they're pushing an agenda that men should not be masculine. They even have a term, toxic masculinity, and I don't even know what it means, because a toxic person would just be toxic. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. So for me, like, what do you mean toxic masculinity? That just means that person is toxic, So yes, get rid of feminism, and I think men will be more gentle.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Nadia. So that's 2-0 right now for feminists. 2-0. Let's see if we can get 3-0. Let's see if we get 3-0. Pass it to you, Lay, what do you think? Why do you think men today are no longer gentlemen?
Yeah, it's pretty much just because like we are pushing the fact that like we are independent. Yeah. But it's like I said this before too. I was like, yeah, we need men. Like, come on now. At the end of the day, you don't want to be going home to an empty bed. You want to be going home to a man cuddling you, holding you, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so now it's hard because like, you know, if we're so independent, then men don't feel like they're really needed. And like men need to be feel like they're needed. Like they need to know that they can be there, they can do this, like, you know, like you said, it's like it's their DNA to provide, protect, and do all that. So it's like when we take all that away, then it's like, okay, what does he need to be gentle for? You know? So it's like it's hard. 'Cause like if you're really so independent and you're stuck in your own way, then it kind of messes you up with like trying to get with everything that you want. Because I'm a hopeless romantic as well. Okay, I want all that like gentle, sweet, huggy flowers, like, you know, surprise things. I want all of that. Okay. But it's like I know I'm in my own way because I'm independent. I have to figure out what I want to do because I feel like if I don't have my shit together, then like I can't bring shit to you. You know.
Okay. All right, no worries. All right, no worries, ladies. Thank you for sharing that opinion. Pass it to you, Jade. Jade, why do you think Jade, why do you think men are no longer gentlemen today?
You know, there could be a lot of reasons, but it really could be what I think as mommy issues. I don't want to call it out. It sounds rude, but clearly their mama didn't raise them how they should be, or whoever, a woman figure they didn't have. And then whoever they were like influenced by, like I said, the bar is set in hell at this point. Like there is nothing that like the bare minimum. Like, okay, great, you opened the door for me. Appreciate it. But like where's everything else, you know? But I think it's just like the influence. They just are not being raised correctly. Eventually they figure it out as they grow, but I don't know. They're just not gentlemen anymore. They just and maybe it's the women too. Like we just kind of there are some that treat them like nothing, and then they stop trying. So it could really just go both ways, unfortunately.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
we're not like some women are just not appreciative of that, and then they take that and they go with it to the next person.
Okay.
So.
All right. No worries, Jade. I had a question for Jade. Is it possible that maybe his mom is a feminist?
Maybe. Maybe.
Just a joke. I just want to throw it out there and just throw it out there.
But I
No worries.
I also feel like it could be also for the lack presence of a father.
True. Yeah. Yes.
You know what
in
I
that
mean?
way. Yes. Yeah. That too. It can.
And I know this statistic in America is very bad. You know, the lack of presence of father in the family, in the nuclear family, right? And a mother can do the best, but I think as a child you also need that father figure, and it's very good. It's just very important. So you know, sometimes the child will see how the father would treat the mother, and then he would have an idea how he should treat other women at the same time. You know, and
it goes the same way for like women too. I know it's like way off topic, but like someone with like daddy issues, me, you just like don't know how to be treated, but you know what you want. Then you get that like that delusion of like hopeless romantic, like okay, like the fairy tale stuff, but like you really don't know what to expect.
Yeah, no worries.
I think I have to disagree with everything as a parent. You know, as a parent perspective, I can only do so much for my kids, but at the end of the day, I can't teach them kindness. I can't teach them how, you know, how to be, how they want to be, you know?
Yeah.
I can only do so much for them.
You can always set an example for them. Children, they look at
Yeah,
examples. They don't actually, they don't, with children, you don't tell them what to do, because if they tell them what to do
right.
and then you're doing the opposite, they don't care. They are
Mm-hmm.
actually more, they
Right.
absorb what they see, and that's children. And I
Mm-hmm.
know this 100% because I'm a kindergarten teacher. So if I would say
Mm-hmm.
one thing and I'll do a different thing, and the kids would don't care. So
No, I mean,
but
yeah, we
yeah.
can always set an example, but what they see, who they're with, social media and everything, what they're watching, I can only do so much for them. But you know, I disagree with, parents' issues and all that because of what's happening right now, internet and all that.
Yeah,
All right.
but I do feel that parents do play a very important role, and if a child is
I do too.
not doing well, it has to be on a parent. It has to be on a parent, because parent should be, looking at what the child is watching. So if there are children and there's something wrong with the child, then it's on the parent. But if they grow up and they know what's right, what's wrong, and they still do what's wrong, then it's on them, I have to say, because then they have the choice to choose. They can choose what they want to do, and there's always consequences to the actions, and they have to take accountability once they know they have the responsibility and they know responsibility. But as a child, I think it goes to the parents. That's
Okay.
Interesting. But I have a question. I have a follow-up question. But what if
But
like, say for
Joe,
example, we have a son.
let me just step in real quick. Let me just get everybody else's opinion, and just save that question. Save that question if we come back and we can follow up on.
Oh
it.
yeah.
I got you. All right, thank you so much. But yeah, let me thank you, ladies, for sharing your thoughts. I do want to pass it down to you, Daniela. Daniela, what do you think of Lorna's Lorna's question? And I know a lot of people in the live chat, like, they want to know what you have to say. Know what you have to say. Go ahead, Daniela. Go ahead, Daniela.
Yeah, I think a number of things have been covered already, but the reason why the standards are so low is because men no longer set the standards for other men. So there's this cliche thing that we throw out about traditional relationship. When people talk about traditional relationship nowadays, they only think 50s till now, which is when the sexual revolution started. So that's not a really good baseline in terms of judgment. Why? Because that's when men stepped out of the household, two-parent household became a thing of the past, and the yada, 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 we're seeing it now. Prior to that, men used to set the standards for other men to engage their daughters for a relationship. This is usually done in fashions of, they had to court the father. They really did. And the father had to set some baselines. Okay, you are going to work for me for an extended amount of time. I need to see your character as a working man. I need to see what values you prioritize. I need to see what family you come from. Are they good families? Do they have a good level of standards? Do they uphold moral standards not only within their dynamic and also out in society? So last names were a big thing, because a last name was the legacy of a family. So they carried wealth. They carried some moral standards. So men were the gatekeepers of that prior to getting access to their daughters. Now, I'm not saying that this was the perfect system. Everything worked 100% well. Obviously, there were the outliers, but it was very less likely prior than it is now. So what we're finding out now is that women don't understand what men are and who they are when they grow into these roles that they need to be in order to be in a relationship. Men will always follow the standards that will give them the easiest access to sex. And when other men were the gatekeeper of that standards, it wasn't easy. You really had to fight tooth and nail if you wanted to be with someone's daughter. Because another man is looking at you. I know who you are as a man. I know how conniving you can be. I know how manipulating you can be. I know how sweet you can talk to get access to a woman. So I'm going to stand here and be that gatekeeper until you prove to me that you're worth what you say you're worth. And then you can have the chance to be in the presence of my daughter. Right now, if you look in social media, if you look out in the real world, it does not take much for a man to get into your pants. All it takes is a couple of drinks in a club, and that's it. That is no standard at all. And this is why men think, oh, if that is how easy it is to get access to sex, I'm not going to try with a woman who demands greatness out of me. Why? Because I can just turn up to the club, flash a couple of blings, wear a nice suit or whatever that looks like, nice cologne, boom, I got the deed. And they will live through that lifestyle until essentially it'll bite them in the ass. Why? Because they'll be left with a reputation. I don't know. But to me, that's how I see it. So feminism has done a great deal of damage to you women. Why? Because it's not benefiting either the traditional woman or the modern woman at all. You are requiring men to stand up to a level of standards that other men demanded out of them, but they're no longer involved. Like, when was the last time your fathers or a father figure was involved in the dating process? Right? A man who truly knows the inner works of another man, how truly manipulative he is when he is very persistent in pursuing a woman. Right? So these things unfortunately has backfired on what seemed to be the feminist ideal in society. So the standards have dropped because women don't understand men, and they aren't holding a level of standards that all men need to abide by. I mean, you look at out in society now, weak men are even getting access to sex. Men who say that to be masculine is an option. I can be masculine or be feminine. It's optional. A woman can do whatever she wants to. A man can do whatever he wants to. He can leave his child. All these things. When you confuse the standards that men and women have to meet, then we have these things where women like yourselves are finding it really difficult to find good men. The other thing too is dating is not hard. You just have a type. You really need to analyze that type and why that type is very difficult for you, and see whether that's the right character for you. If that's going to be a long-term commitment, a guy that can give you long-term commitment, and reanalyze that. Most people find dating hard because they don't understand that they have a type. Figure that out, and the dating becomes slightly easier for you.
All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Daniela. Tie game, and thank you for jumping back on. I know you definitely want to add on. But yeah, what's your thoughts to add on to the topic? Why are men no longer gentlemen today in 2022? Go ahead, tie game.
You know what? Now, I'm jumping in and out. I'm trying to catch as much of this as I can. So if somebody said this, I apologize. But I don't think these women being truthful. I don't think they being truthful. They say, why are men no longer gentlemen in 2022? I'll tell you why. Because y'all don't like it. That's why men are no longer gentlemen in 2022. Yo, it's nice to get on podcasts and say, oh, we want a gentleman. We want a nice guy. We want somebody that's going to treat us sweet, love us, and all that good stuff. It sounds real good. But then you oftentimes find out that when you get that, something changes. It's like, oh my goodness, he's too nice. He's too soft. He's too weak, girl. Why he always sending me flowers and stuff? He always calling to check up on me. He always telling me he loved me. He makes sure he talks to me every time before I go to bed, girl. Something wrong with him. That's the reason. And men pick up on that. And I'm a percentage guy, right? Now, each and every last one of you ladies, this is not nothing in life that is 100% definite, except for we all gonna die one day. So every last one of you ladies on this podcast may actually want a good man, may actually want a gentleman. I'll give y'all that much. Maybe. But the majority of y'all don't. And once men start playing that number game, they say, well, I might as well not be shit because I get more attention when I act like I don't care about her. I get more attention when I'm messing with 1,000 different girls. Because for some reason, women seem not to want you if other women don't want you. You can be all theirs, but if don't the other woman want you, they just make it seem like, oh, well, something must be wrong with my man because I'm the only person that want him. Why you think why you think all these women like to throw themselves as celebrities? Knowing they getting cheated on, knowing they the side chick, knowing he got a whole nother family, do not care. That's why there's not gentleness like that, because men are realizing you get further by not being shit. And that's a messed up thing to say, but it's honest.
Yeah, I think
I'm not saying it pertains to y'all, like I said, but the majority.
Yeah,
But I gotta go. Remember, ladies, the facts in life remains the same. There's no game, but tie game. Will T. Talk to you later.
Man, it's a bomb.
Yeah,
He's dropping truth. He's dropping
that's
truth.
true.
No
I
game,
think
no game,
it's
but tie game.
it's the trauma, the PTSD type shit. Like,
I have a question to you ladies. I have a question to you ladies. How many of you guys have been raised? How many of you guys have seen good men in your life that exemplify what a real gentleman is? If you guys could be honest right now, like how many of you guys grew up and you guys saw exactly what a real gentleman is? Because sometimes I do hear a lot of women say they want a gentleman, but oftentimes when I talk to them, they've never met a good man. That's why sometimes if you're all the experiences of the men in your life, you've never seen what a good man is, and you finally meet a good man, because you've never experienced it, it's gonna be very foreign to you. It's gonna be very, so you're like, this is weird. This is unfamiliar territory, and you might reject him and you might push him away because the way a good man and a gentleman treats you is gonna be very different compared to all the other men besides. And I think Daniela's point, because the standards are so low right now in modern society, so majority of people are having sex without proving themselves to be quality men and women. So oftentimes a lot of people, what's happening, because everybody's having sex, most people are having sex with people that are no longer quality. So you find out that the people you're having sex with are not quality people. So that becomes the examples of the type of people or the type of men that you deal with. So you have that assumption that that's what all men is. But I do know a lot of women, they'll say, I want a gentleman, and they finally meet a good man, and he's too nice, like to Ty Game's point. Oh, he's too nice, he's too caring. This is weird for me. And they kind of distance themselves, or they friend zone him, or they leave him to go back to the very toxic men that they complained about.
Yeah, we
in the beginning.
self-sabotage. That's for sure. I
So,
started self-sabotage. Like, why?
So ladies, but did you? I want to ask if you guys could answer real quick. If you're willing to answer, how many of you guys, if you guys be honest, how many of you guys in your life, how many men that you experienced that were very gentlemen, the type of gentleman that you want in your life? If you saw it, if you didn't see it, I think it will add a lot of perspective to the conversation. I'll start with you, Lorna. Lorna, did you see that growing up, like real gentleman?
Just my dad.
Just your dad.
Yeah, just my dad. Like,
yeah. Okay. All right. All right. What about you?
No, I did not. I did not experience it growing up.
What were you, Lay?
I did. I had my uncle and my dad as like prime examples, and my uncle, he's like the traditional like husband and wife. Like you can get, like, he goes to work, pays bills, goes home, go out once a week for dinner, and then flowers on birthdays, just because, like, so I know that's a possible thing. So so, and just having that, I'm just like, yeah, I can have that. It just, what am I doing now?
All right, no worries. What about you, Jade?
No, never had it.
No,
Just
never had it.
Seen it
Okay.
in movies, and I know what I want.
Oh, Disney. You saw it in Disney.
really well.
For Shining.
All right, no worries. Of course, Nadia.
Yeah. Was this still the question?
How
was up?
How many examples of gentlemen have you seen in your life?
I have like sturdy ones. I think 2. I have 2.
Okay. All right. So, I mean that's just a great example, because there was a time when most men, majority of men, acted like that. But that's why I asked that question. There was only like 2, 1, 0.
Yeah, like they're older.
Yeah, they're older, but in this generation, you guys the men that you saw with gentlemen was in the past. None of you guys mentioned men today in today's generation. So,
exactly.
So that's what I'm saying is, like, it's no longer because of feminism, what you guys brought up before. If men can get access to sex, like, what's the point of them being gentlemen when they don't have to become gentlemen to get what they want?
Yeah.
So that's just the way the women, the way the men see it. And I think my point of view to all the women out there, to answer Lorna's question, if they want men to be gentlemen, what I would ask the women is, are you acting like a lady? If you want a traditional man, are you a traditional woman? Because sometimes I do hear a lot of women, they say, you know what, I want a
Nope.
gentleman, I want a traditional man. But then I look at their lifestyle, I look at their social media page, and I don't see I don't see a lady. I do not see a lady, and they don't act like a lady. So the thing is, it's very hypocritical to say, I want a gentleman, I want a traditional man, if you're not a lady and you don't treat yourself and you don't have the self-respect that to be that lady, but then you want that man to respect you, but sometimes you don't really respect yourself as a true lady. A true lady would have character, morals, and respect for herself. But just want to add on real quick. Let me read some comments real quick. Man, that was a good topic, Lorna. You brought some. That was a great topic to discuss. We got everybody talking in the live chat.
Can I also add something?
Oh, go ahead, real quick, Nadia. Then
So-
I'll read the live chat. I'll read the comments.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
just a
Nadia.
real quick one, because there's a saying that I always hear, and I know it's true, and because it's happening. There's a saying that strong men create good times, and good times create weak men. And I think right now, and weak men create bad times, and bad times create strong men. So
Yeah.
it's a loop that we're going through, and right now I think the generation is just weak men, because the strong men create good times, and the good times create weak men, and that's also one reason why
I love that.
it is. And when I
That
say
makes
good,
sense.
weak, when I say men, I think it's not only men. I mean, like, humanity in general is just
Yeah.
like that. They call this generation snowflakes or something.
Yeah, they're called.
Oh, I
Because-
think I get it. Like they're flaking. Okay.
Yeah.
They're just soft.
Oh, okay, got it.
No worries, no worries. Let me
Yeah.
read some comments real quick. Ladies. I see a lot of people on the live chat, so let me read some comments real quick. I see Alici on the live chat. She said, as Nella calls it, about my best friend and her taste many men, she likes that trauma dick. Yeah, they don't like the good man dick. They want the toxic trauma dick.
PTSD.
All right. Oh, I see amoxicillin here for the first time on the live chat. Hey, shout out to you, man. Whether you're a man or woman, but all the way from Twitch, he said some men or women are finding that sex isn't enough to fulfill them anymore. They are wanting companionship. They don't know how to even be friends to the opposite gender. And then big D at the end. Okay. All right. No worries. Amoxicillin, thank you so much for tuning all the way from Twitch. Appreciate you. First time in the live chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But ladies, yeah, I think we've got through everybody's question. Did I miss anybody? Did anybody have to bring up a question? Nadia, have I asked you to bring up a question?
No, but it's okay. We were almost to the end, no?
No, we can finish off with that. We can finish with your question, and we'll conclude the podcast with that. What's your final question, Nadia? And we'll end the podcast with that.
Okay, so we can just be real quick, because we did mention, I think Daniela was mentioning, or maybe the tie game, I don't know, that if a man doesn't want the women, they don't want it, right? If they don't want, they don't want. But why there are still a lot of women who get pregnant on purpose just to lock a man down? And I know this is true, because I know.
Could never be me.
I know I listened to. Did you do it? Jade? Girl, you bringing problems to yourself.
That's what I'm talking about, Nadia. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of questions that we want on the podcast. All right, great.
Yes, I needed to know this, because I know there are women who does this, and it's so cunning. Oh my God, I cannot believe this. They're doing it on purpose, and then they get pregnant on purpose, and then man doesn't want to be with the person, and then he left still, and then she plays the victim, and it's like, oh my God, come on, you brought this to yourself. So I just want to know why women do this. For me, it just doesn't make sense. So
all right, no worries. Thank you, Nadia, for the great question, and this will be our last topic. So I'll start with you, Joe. Joe, why do you think women get pregnant for the purpose of locking a man down?
I honestly don't know, because I didn't do that, but maybe because some women are so emotional, and they just want that, and they're so just emotional is all, I think.
Okay. All right. Emotional. Just emotional
Thinking
women.
straight, like what's gonna happen to the baby in the future and all that. I think that's it.
All right. No worries. Thank you for saying that, Joe. Let me pass it to you, Lay. Lay, what do you think, Lay? You know.
I don't know because I know women like that too. I'm like, who does that? Like, who really does that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never, because it's just like, because these women are smart. Like, they'll do this and like just try to get like their money or to do something like that. Yeah. Okay, I got you. And like they're doing it like to get like the money and everything, and I'm just like, oh my gosh! But now like you're wondering why he doesn't want to see the child or want to be around the child or doesn't want to like Tristan Thompson, like you know what I mean, like that whole shebang with the secret baby and all that stuff, like you know, and she probably planned that, like maybe she's one of those women that did that, and it's just like, you know, women do it for so many different reasons, and it doesn't make sense because just like why? But I feel like women do it because like they're trying to like, you know, maybe the emotional connection to that person thinking like, oh well, I have your baby, so now we're attached forever anyways, and you know you got to deal with me kind of shebang. Or it's like, you know, the money. I don't know, but those women who do that, they're crazy.
All right.
Crazy.
No worries. No, thank you for sharing that, Lay. I see 2 Wonderful said on the live chat. He said 18 years of child support. That's why.
There you go. Yeah. And the government is earning from this. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a money move. It's a business decision. All right.
It's a
Let me pass it
business.
to you, Lorna. Lorna, why do you think these ladies out here trying to trap? That's the perfect word. They're trying to trap the man, trapping men out there, man.
Well,
Go ahead, Lorna.
Oh, first of all, hold on. Do you see that comment?
Go ahead, Lorna. Go ahead, Lorna.
Say it.
I think that like women are always gonna want like everything to fall kind of towards their way, like when they're talking to a guy and they're trying to figure out like why won't he talk to me, and it's like it's because of this, because of this, because of this, and then like when they come to getting pregnant, they're like, I want him, we're gonna do this, he's gonna stay with me, I'm gonna get him pregnant because he's probably fucking her anyways. Like, why are you fucking her? It's like
Yeah.
you don't want to procreate, or like, you know, like also I think kind of goes with like guys wanting to just have sex with whatever they can through sexual attraction, and she believes that like that's enough for her to like say, okay, well then let's go, like I'm in it for the all run. And yeah, she ends up just tricking him and he doesn't like it. So yeah, does that make sense?
Okay. All right, no worries. Thank you for sharing that, Lorna. Let me pass it to Jay. Jay, what do you think, Jay? Why do you think women try to trap a man? Go ahead.
I don't know, cause like I'm not one to do that. Like I'm not gonna waste my time with someone that doesn't. I mean, like I do waste my time, but
Like if it is someone you want,
a whole
though.
baby, no, I'm not gonna be trapped with like you for the rest of like. If I knew there was nothing more, like for me, for my first baby, obviously I thought I was gonna get married, blah blah blah. We were great, but then it wasn't, right? But to trap someone, they gotta have something like money or I really don't know. There is no good explanation to keep a man that doesn't want you with a whole baby. Like a whole baby, that is a whole commitment. I think it's like an insecurity to money. I really cannot think of a good reason. There's not.
Genetics.
I guess like you really are like down bad, like you're desperate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad to like bring a whole baby in the situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries. All right. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that, Jade. And I see Kai Rodri for the first time in the live chat. He said, or he or she, why is it always about the women? Men impregnate women too for no reason. Yeah, but that's not the topic we're discussing. We're talking about women out here trapping men, getting pregnant. All right. Catch up, Kai. Go catch up to the program. The title is on the bottom. And of course, Triple Studios. He said from Twitch, so how a man treats you means nothing as long as he has money. 777 Studios, all the way from Twitch. Hey, shout out to both Kai Rodri And 777, so first time in the live chat. Oh man, you guys are coming on right now, all the way from different formats. Thank you for tuning in already. Daniela, you heard from the ladies. Let them know. Why do you think, Daniela? Why do women try to trap men?
I mean, it was a great strategy to essentially corner a man into commitment. But it was only a great strategy when other men had higher standards of what a father should be, right? So if a man wants to get pregnant, a lot of his peers would force him into, hey, dude, you got responsibility now, whether it's be accidental or on purpose. You have to take that into consideration. But since abortion has become a thing, men can walk away. Men can pressure women to have an abortion if, those things, or they can just fully walk away. So, I mean, you have to have some level of beyond comprehension delusion to do that as a woman to a man, but it's no longer effective because men will leave you in the dust. They will figure out a way with child support. They'll figure out a way with whatever legal obligations that they have, but you are essentially putting another life on the line that, I mean, didn't ask to be here in the first place. And not only that, having children for me is one of the, if not the most amazing thing two people can have. I have two of my own with my wife, and I would not put having children under the same light as manipulation. It's purely for the fact that it's a human life. And these are these are children that will grow up to be adults, and what we put them under in these conditions are very selfish to the extreme. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, it's just things that happen at random, but I can see it from a man's perspective where it could be a very effective strategy if abortion wasn't a thing, or where men held other men to higher standards, but it's not effective. So whether you use it now or you're considering it as a woman, don't do it. You're essentially sacrificing two life in that process, not necessarily the man.
Right.
All right, no worries. Yeah, thank you. And then Nadia, I know that was your topic. Anything you want to add on real quick?
For me, no. But I do have to touch on a little bit on what Daniela said about abortion, and I think the accessibility that we have to abort babies are so easy are not really a great idea. It's just it's not a birth control, and I know that some people are mixing information that abortion is a birth control, which is not. So I think parts of this are also contributing to how women and men would behave. So I guess I know it's really crazy that people would do this, but I know at least two people who have done it, actually three who have done it. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't benefit them. It's really bad for them. The women, I mean, yes, the women are the ones who are in the deeper problem than the men, actually. And men could just pay alimonies and that's it, and they don't have to contribute otherwise. So, that's all.
All right, no worries. But yeah, thank you for everybody for sharing. That was a great topic to end of the podcast. And but ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the conclusion, to the end of the podcast. I'll do a quick shout out to all the panel guests. Man, it was a fire podcast for tonight. We had some great topics. We discussed about everything, and you guys didn't hold back on the topics. You guys brought the heat tonight. Shout out to all the ladies. I appreciate all the open conversations, and shout out to the public guests, Daniela and Ty Gay Michael, for jumping on real quick and participating on the live podcast. And shout out to all of you guys in the live chat. Thank you so much for all your feedback. And I see you having your own podcast on the live chat. You guys are all agreeing to disagree and challenging each other. And I see some people get triggered and left the chat because it was too hot on the live chat. So at the end of the day, I appreciate your feedback. Definitely appreciate you guys joining on and adding to your opinion. I see BL17 said, great show, Will. Hey, man, shout out to you, BL17. Always appreciate you being supporting my podcast and watching every single live show I have. Thank you so much. But ladies, we have come to the end. Thank you so much for being on tonight for tonight's podcast. And I told you guys it gets hot on here. I told you guys that it gets hot on this podcast. This is what happens on here. So thank you so much. But ladies, can you guys give your final thoughts? What's your final thoughts from tonight's discussion? What's your takeaway from it? And then how can people find you so that way they can support you on your panels as well? Start with you, Joe. Joe, How final thoughts from tonight's podcast, and how can people find you?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. This is my first time, and I respected everyone's opinion. I think it's important to listen more than speak. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, listen before we speak sounds like what a lady would do. Just joking. Just joking. Just joking. Yeah. So thank you so much, Joe Social. Appreciate you being on the podcast for the first time. Let me pass it to you, Lorna. First time on the podcast. Thank you so much. What's your final thoughts, and how can people find you?
I had a great time today talking with you ladies and Taniela and Will about men and their preferences. So I will adjust my preferences. And, yeah. So thanks. I really appreciated it. Would definitely do it again.
All right. And how can they find you, Lorna? How can they find you?
Me at Lorna Hilala, spelled like this on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. All right, thank you so much, Lorna. Appreciate you. Let me pass it to you, Jade. Jade, first time on the podcast. Final thoughts, and how can people find you if you're still alive? Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm here. Yeah. I really enjoyed being on this podcast for like my first time ever. It was really good to know. I kind of got like closure, just not from that person. So because I just been really going through it lately, just like the dating life, and it's only been like 3-4 months of me actually being single, and I'm like already over it. Like I don't even know how I even got into a relationship for 5 years. So at this point, it's good to know what to do, what not to do, what guys are thinking, whatever. So it's been helpful. It's been eye-opening. Things I knew already, but I just needed to go in depth. But besides that, you can find me, I guess, on Instagram, sincerely Jade with 2 A's, Jaade. And I'm kind of mostly active on there.
All right. No worries, Jade. Thank you so much for being a first time, and appreciate having you on.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
All right. You almost backed out tonight. I
know. Okay, look. I know.
I can call you out. I can call you out.
I wanted this bad, and I was like, I'll just do it. I wanted
it. But thank you. Thank you for jumping on. I appreciate it. Enjoyed having you on, Jade. No worries. Pass it to our former guest, Lay. Final thoughts, and how can people find you?
Yeah, adjust my standards. I'm not a hater to it. I'm gonna fix it, because maybe I do have too high standards, and I don't know, but I'm keep those high standards always, but I'll tweak it a little bit. But I had a blast, honestly, always. Obviously I came back, so I enjoyed the topics, the conversations, and everything. And you guys are awesome. Thanks, guys, too, because got guys' perspective on everything as well, and ladies too. And then you can find me. My Instagram's right here, actually, Latings, and I'm active. Doing a whole bunch of modeling stuff and everything. So yeah.
All right, no worries. Thank you so much, Lay. Thank you so much. Always appreciate you having you on. Let me pass it to you, Nadia. Nadia, final thoughts. How can people find you?
Okay, I just want to ask Will, do you realize that we all are, the panel today is just agreeable? Just very agreeable. Like we can have conversations. And one thing we have in common is that because we are young. So it actually proves that younger women are more agreeable. So I mean, just saying, just putting it out there. Anyways, I just wanted to say for women just to keep working on yourself. I think most importantly is to know what you want and what you need in life before you actually know what you want and need in a man. So, for example, if you have things that you like and you don't like certain things and you just want somebody else to deal with it, and what kind of man you want to have in your house. So my advice is just to work on yourself, and just life will, fall for you like really nicely. That's all.
All right, no worries, Nadia. Thank you so much, Nadia. And Nadia, you definitely got to check out my previous podcast in the past when me and Daniela were had older women, the 40-year-old women, independent women.
I think I saw some of your short clips. And,
Yeah, that was a battle throughout the whole podcast, but I definitely enjoyed the younger women. I definitely enjoyed the younger women, but it doesn't matter whether I agree, older, young. I always appreciate the conversations, whether we agree or disagree. That's the point of the conversation and dialogue. And Daniela, any final thoughts you want to add on real quick to all the ladies out there that's watching this right now?
I've heard dropping standards. Ladies, do not drop your standards. Having high standards is actually great. It brings the level of men to the level that you need them to be. Here's the thing that you also miss from that point. Have high standards, not only on the men, but also on yourself. That's the missing part of that equation. If you're going to have high standards for men, also have it for yourself. Bring yourself to a level of standards where the men you're attracted to will look at that and go, wow, she's different from any other woman that I've ever seen so far. That's a high standard woman. That's a woman I want to be with. And that's how you get with the person you like. The reason why a lot of women have high standards and still struggle with men is they don't have high standards for themselves. That's the problem. So I enjoyed tonight. I have my TikTok, which I haven't utilized. So if anyone want to reach out just for a conversation or even want to put me on blast, I'm always open for it. So if you think I've had some bad take, I'm open to it, and I'm always open for conversations. That's where we learn. So yeah. Thank you for having me on, Will.
No worries. They ain't ready for you, Daniela. They ain't ready. They're not ready. Like I said, my podcast is always public. Anybody that's watching this right now, whether you agree or disagree, I challenge you guys to come on, especially all my haters out there.
How dare you?
But nevertheless, thank you so much for everybody out there. Always appreciating watching my show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I see a lot of you guys love the show. Definitely like and subscribe to my channel. And of course, like I said, if you, I'm gonna drop the links for all these beautiful ladies. If you want to support them on their platforms, definitely add them and support them as well. But we do this every single Saturday, so don't forget to like and subscribe to get the notification. We do go live next Saturday. We'll definitely have more topics to discuss next week and a whole new panel. But ladies, thank you so much. I definitely enjoyed you. I'm definitely gonna reach out to you guys. We definitely gotta run this back. We gotta run this back, y'all.
For sure.
We got back to back. But nevertheless. But nevertheless, and I think Nadia, I think we'll mix it up. I think I'll invite some older women too, so balance it out a little bit, young and old. So, but thank you so much, ladies. You have a great night. Everybody in the live chat, you guys have a great night. Hi,
Thank
ladies.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.